I'm Chris Schooley with Troubadour Maltings in Fort Collins, Colorado. And right now we're in Greg Stevens' field of LCS Genie 2-row malting barley. The most amazing thing about this field is that this field that you're standing in right now today is a field that you'll drink. That you'll know specifically this beer has this grain in it. Not only is it a field that you'll drink in just a few months, but it's going to be a beer like you've never had before in your life.
My name is Frank Curtis and I'm the Chief Operating Officer of Lima Grain Cereal Seeds. Of all the cereal crops grown by US farmers, malting barley is perhaps one of the most complex to introduce. When we started to introduce malt barley varieties into this area, we had to have a good look at the prevailing conditions, particularly climate. Rainfall is perhaps the most important. So we needed some varieties that could withstand climatic variables.
The idea that a brewer could work with a maltster in the state who sourced barley from a farmer in the state who bought it from a genetics provider in the state brings an element of support for not only local economies but a low carbon footprint that can go from the dirt to the glass, from a Colorado acre to a Colorado ale. Our goal with Acres to Ales is to give farmers a barley specifically designed for craft brewers, and then they can bridge that gap through new and local malting companies that are open up and create an Acres to Ales supply chain.
Being able to tie local ag with local independent business is a complete economic paradigm shift in this area.
Yeah, my name is Steve Clark. I'm one of the maltsters here, an owner of Troubadour Maltings. So a maltster is somebody who can take grain, in our case barley, and actually make it into a usable form for a brewer so they can make beer and produce alcohol, more importantly. The brewer requires enzymes in the brewing process to convert starch to sugar. So as a maltster, we're able to take the raw barley and wake it up. The process of malting actually involves 3 steps. The first step is to steep the grain, the second step is to germinate the grain, and lastly we kiln it. The process to steep is literally to soak the grain in water. The grain now has the opportunity to grow, just like any other grain that's out there, it'll sprout. Once the grain has modified far enough in the process, we actually want to stop it so it doesn't actually start to consume its own sugar. We go ahead and stop the process by kilning it, which is essentially removing water. In the case of Troubadour Maltings, we're really proud of our kilning process because we have the ability to really fine-tune the temperature at which we can dry the grain down to. And that temperature actually allows us to control different characteristics of the final product that you can taste and you can see. So what it means to be a craft maltster for us is to really have the opportunity and the potential to work with local brewers and local farmers and to really complete the entire cycle of the brewing process.
Chris, what do you got here?
So we have 3 different malts. These are all LCS Genie. This is all the stuff that we grew. We have our base malt, which we call Serenade. And so let me pour a little bit of this into the glass here. So just take a couple kernels and chew. I get a lot of nice, nutty and fruity, little kind of like that plantain or banana kind of estery.
Exactly. Even like a hint of strawberry mixed with that nuttiness, but the effect of the flavor, the aesthetics of the flavor is also very cool. As it sinks on your tongue, it almost builds an intensity.
So the next is our Ballad, which is a Munich style malt.
I'm just getting like almond extract.
Even some honey. I get a really rich, like raw honey.
You can definitely get that malt, that honey, after you mentioned that. They're both awesome. Be fun to brew them.
When you're looking at a bag of malt, there's no face, there's no discussion. Plus, this experience is also very unique because I've worked with Steve and Chris here in developing a certain type of pale malt, and it's working with the entire process. Also very unique. Craft beer was formulated around having a personality, and we've been waiting so long for the craft maltster now to appear, to bring personality back to malting, and that's now happening. We are currently in Lyons, Colorado, where Oskar Blues began, and our sole roots is where we mess around and do R&D projects and have some fun.
Today we are seeing kind of the culmination of an idea we had where we would go all the way from the field to the bar. And today we're brewing beer to make that happen. The story goes back, I mean, when I met with Tim up at the last event that we had, we said one of these days we should get together and do a collaboration beer. So as we were talking about that, one of these days we should get together and do this, the whole concept came about.
One of the biggest purposes of this project is to have intimacy with your raw materials, with what makes your flavor. I like to know the faces of the people that grow the barley, that malt the barley.
This is the first brew of the Genie that we planted. This is super exciting because, you know, this is the seed we got from Lima.
This is really exciting today. And I think what's rewarding about it is not just the actual act of being here at the brewery and seeing our products converted into a consumer product. The enjoyable part really is integrating with the whole chain. You know, we're bringing the whole of the production chain together, and we kind of feel a little bit of pride at being able to do that for this region, which has been so hospitable to us.
We are brewing a gingerbreaded winter warmer. Think about the crust, that really nice roasty, bready, nutty crust, and then of course the spices of ginger, cinnamon, and clove. The malt is going to play very nicely.
So much of what we do at Troubadour is about creating that really unique raw material to make a beer like this at. And this is where you first start to see how that's coming about.
One of the great things about craft beer is the connections you make with people. Having these relationships are very essential to becoming better as a brewer, gaining more knowledge, improving your process, and finding new flavors.
I really think that people are going to enjoy this beer. I think it's going to be about all the pieces that are involved in this, and that we're celebrating those pieces.
I'll tell you what, it's an excitement and also an expectation and a little bit of, when you get that much, you're like, I really want this beer to work out. And when you're working with something new for the first time, you never really know how it's going to work out.
Well, that's thorough. You can smell the breadiness of the Munich malts and the pale ale malt.
Get some spice definitely on the aroma.
Well, that's cool and complex and drinkable. Nice.
Ooh. Wow.
It builds in the middle, and then it sits on your tongue and sinks in.
All the malts, the sweetness built up in there. Almost like a bit of a fruity character, definitely from that Munich. Oh wow. And look at that color.
It's actually very drinkable. It's gonna be a little bit of a little dangerous.
I could drink the hell out of this beer.
This is the beer of the night, absolutely. We're almost through the first half barrel right now, so I would say that's probably hour and a half. You know, I've been sipping on it every now and then, just making sure it tastes all right. And until 5 o'clock today, and then, now it's killing it. It's killing it right now.
Everything came out great. People are here asking questions. They really want to know how this beer came to be. And we're able to drink it and talk about it at the same time. That's what this is all about. Be able to tell people what it takes to make a beer, from the field to the malt house to the brewer, and now here at the place where we all can gather and just talk about it. On top of that, it tastes amazing. I taste the malt, I taste the brewing process, you taste the collaboration in every drop. It looks good, it tastes good. So, cheers.